In a video over the next few days, I'm going to be looking into what it is to be acquainted with God, asking what is God, how do we know God, how can we feel God, and I'm going to absolutely dismiss any religion that states and claims that God is out there somewhere. Complete and utter nonsense designed for your mental incarceration. God is consciousness, God is all pervasive, and if there is such a creator as a being that we would call God, then that God wouldn't, by the very attributes of it being God, feel insecure about you not worshipping it, and wouldn't need you to be in fear of it. Why would a God, the creator of the universe, need you to be afraid of it? Complete and utter bollocks. So, there is so much to say about this subject, but whilst I'm broaching this subject and reading the comments of videos over this last, few days or weeks or whatever, people starting to get a little bit more engaged and forthcoming, and enjoying the subject matter. So lots of you are new, and there's still lots of you that have been around a long time. The new ones, it's curious because it doesn't appear that people read the description of any videos, and people can say that, I've been watching you for 6 months and this, that and the other, and where can I find your book? The link to my book is in almost every single video that I put up. Maybe if I put one up in relation to Providence, my friendly squirrel, then I won't put the link down because it's non-related. But the link to my book is in the descriptions. And so it's kind of like, wow, nothing like hiding things in plain sight, is there? It's like people say, Al-Qaeda hid all of their plots on the second page of Google because no fucker ever looks. So, this is what my book looks like, and this is the original title, but I changed it 6 or 8 months after because A Journey to the Self would attract the right sort of reader, because to mention God in the Western world, people mostly thinking the Christian God, instantly would close their ears, eyes and hearts. This book, being closer to God, isn't about being closer to Yahweh, Jehovah or Allah or any of that nonsense. It's more down to earth than that, and it's about being closer to ourselves, which are the essence of God, people. And if you read this book, you'll find out why that is. And it absolutely is. Any gods up in the sky or hiding behind the fucking clouds absolutely isn't. So you can see that it's of some substance, and there are 11 pages of content. 11 pages of different subject matter, and the book retails at £20 or $20, maybe $25, closer to God, £20 UK market or European, and £10 or dollars on Kindle. And I speak about a great deal of things in that book. And so if you enjoy the videos, then you would most certainly benefit from reading that. And if you're not a reader, or you're not really an avid reader, and you look at that and you just go, wow, I'll never get through that. That's 650 pages. Oh, I could never get rid of that. I don't have the time. I don't have this. I don't have that, or whatever. But what I'm saying is, in this book, people, if you just picked it up every day, every other day, and there are very short sections like this. All the sections are highlighted, and this one, just randomly, it says, "The night I went to hell for 18 hours, 666. Well, that's an awesome story. And then it's like 3 pages. Then over here, chapter 7, Jesus said, if we believe in him, then we shall be within him, and he shall be within us. Well, doesn't that mean that we're God, we're Jesus? Yes, that's what Jesus was saying. And mostly you'll find this sort of, can you say, commentary in the book of Thomas, which is 108 verses, where Jesus is saying things like, the kingdom of God is within you, and you know, I can do nothing more than you, and you can do more than me. And so all the time Jesus was saying to people that you know, he is the Son of God, just like you're the Son of God. We're all sons of God. He wasn't proclaiming to be the one and only Son of God and all that nonsense which is in the New Testament. Complete fabrication, people. So I address so many things, and if I need to keep labouring, then, oh my word, suspected spam. Nobody calls my phone. Yeah, if I keep need to labouring the content of this book and why you would benefit from reading it, because it touches on so many paranormal, supernatural, existential, psychological, phenomenological subject matter, and there's going to be something in there which you go, wow, that was really useful to me, and then you can move forward, can't you? And I'm always saying that, you know, people do need to read. You absolutely have to read, because if you just think you can get the knowledge of the cosmos by floating around on YouTube, you are very, very misguided. Because you're only ever going to get the superficial stuff, and these days most of it is nonsensical, and it's all broken down into tiny little bites, because the content providers realise that the vast majority of people are just not able to study, and they want the nature of the universe, you know, within about 5 minutes maximum. So those of you that are like that, limited concentration ability, well, you're never going to know the nature of the universe, to be quite frank, because it takes years and years and years of very, very deep and profound study. And on top of that, it takes enormous balls, because you've got to go that extra mile. You've got to put yourself in the greatest of dangers. You've got to do all the psychedelic experiences. You've got to take certain risks. You've got to be awakened and brave. And if you're not, then, you know, to say that you're never going to know the nature of the universe is a bit harsh, but, you know, for people who take psychedelics, then they are highways straight into cosmic consciousness, straight into other worlds, and your consciousness expands exponentially every single time you take one of those things. Now, if you're too afraid and that's not your thing, then you'll have some mediocre experiences via meditation. I've been meditating 15 years every single day, and I've had a handful of big experiences experiences, whereby every single time I've took a psychedelic, I get a big experience. And they're very, very profound. And you know, you can listen to some so-called spiritual people and they'll say, oh, I don't need psychedelics, that's the cheating way, or whatever bullshit they come out with because they're too scared. No, if you're going to be entering into other worlds, yes, you do need psychedelics, by the way. And everybody that's taken them will tell you that. And they'll tell you that they've never experienced anything like it without that. So bullshit to anybody that's calling bullshit on psychedelics. Psychedelics are extremely important, and psychedelics have been extremely important throughout millennia with all religions. Where do you think all this stuff comes from? Where do you think the deep Gnostic information comes from? Where do you think the outlandish mythology and mysticism comes from? It comes from engaging in psychedelics, people, in alternate states of consciousness. And there's a guy called Dr. Rick Strassman who wrote The God Molecule about DMT. He also wrote a book about the biblical prophets and all the ones that had proclaimed to have had a relationship, seen God, heard God, whatever. And then he was suggesting very heavily that they were under the influence of something. You know, a burning bush and, you know, your staff turning into a snake and talking donkey, talking snake, and all these different sorts of things. Come on, people, just, you know, use your imagination. Things like that will happen when you're on psychedelics. And it's not like the cartoon-like or the silly. They're very, very, very profound. So, anyway, outside of that, I'm going to be speaking about why being kind is bullshit. Look, people, there's a time and a place for being kind. Buying your kids whatever you buy them, you know, whatever they need, you know, that's kindness, that's nurturing. Supporting them and saying, you know, the appropriate things. We do all this sort of stuff when we nurture our children, but then there comes a point when we have to stop this pampering and nurturing, and we have to tell them the way it is. By the way, the tooth fairy is a load of bollocks, Santa doesn't exist, and Jesus is just a figment of some fucker's imagination. So yeah, it gets a bit harsh, you know, when we grow up, people. And so some viewers are like, oh, I'm not talking to you unless you be kind to everybody. You know what I say to that? I say, spin on that, motherfucker. Spin on that a billion, gazillion fucking times. In actual fact, don't ever stop spinning on that, because I'll never comply with that bullshit, because it's absolute fucking bullshit. And anyone that's going to be saying that is a shrinking violet little fucking turd that hides under a fucking stone all day long, all life long, and builds a cotton wool fucking world around them because they're too frail to accept the world the way it is. And so look, when we go to school, you see, nature's got it all together. When we go to school, kindergarten kids are cruel from the beginning. They're snatching, they're greedy, they're obnoxious, they're abrasive, they will assault each other, all this stuff goes on. And then when you go through junior school and high school and college and all this different sorts of thing, well, it doesn't get any easier, does it? You know, we got all the bitching and the name calling and, you know, the fighting and the shit going on. And that's what wakens us up, and it's what introduces us to how the world is, how the human being is, how animal species are. We're no different. We're predatory. We are jealous, envious. We're the worst of the worst. Good God, we're the worst of the worst. You know, when I watch my little friendly squirrels out in the garden, they've got all different sorts of evolutionary protection, survival mechanisms going on. And I've spoken to you before about my friend Providence, who I reared on, you know, scalded milk from when she was this big, and now she lives out in the tree. She's a mother. She's got 3 offspring, and they all live together at this time of year. They live together in a bunch of sticks with a nest inside. It's called a dray. And the reason why they live together is because they share each other's body warmth, and that is the only reason why. It's not because they've got any love for each other, because they absolutely don't have, because when it comes to food they will kick each other's fucking ass. And so this morning I was watching one of Providence's daughters. She's sitting on the food station, and I offer some nuts, and she comes up to the nuts and she sniffs and she turns her nose up, and I think it's because I just washed my hands and she could smell something strange. And so, albeit she could smell the monkey nut, there's something else there, and so she went back and she continued to eat the shelled monkey nuts. Anyway, she's there enjoying herself, and then all of a sudden Mum jumps up on the fence, and Mum starts to they vibrate their teeth a million times a second. So Providence was doing that to one of her daughters, Apollo or Zeus, and the daughter was doing it back. And then all of a sudden the mother bolts for the daughter, and the daughter, you know, fucks off up into the tree. And then mother, she sits on the throne eating the food. They would never, ever, ever share food. And if it meant that, you know, her offspring were gonna die, then that's just how it is, because that's their instinctual survival mechanism which is built in. So when they share a dray, and some people might get thinking, oh, they're kind to each other. No, they're not. Sorry, they're just being utilitarian. They fucking need each other when it gets below freezing. But as soon as the weather warms up, she's kicking them out because she's already with child now. And within a few weeks' time, she's going to have a second batch, and maybe she'll have them in her dray, or maybe she'll have them in one of the houses which she grew up in, and where she reared her babies last year. So looking forward to that. And then come June time, the babies will be old enough to have young themselves. So I'm expecting the 2 daughters to be with child also at the end of the year. So that's great. So what I'm saying is, people, if we use our observation, we use our intelligence, and we stop with this bullshit compassion and this bullshit never-ending fucking love and this bullshit fucking crock of shit kindness, please just be straight with people. If we were straight with people, we wouldn't need love, we wouldn't need compassion, we wouldn't need kindness, all these bullshit concepts. We wouldn't need to invent any of that if we were just straight. And if we were just straight, then we'd very quickly know where we stood. There'd be no deception, there'd be no foolery, there'd be no bitching, you know, the ongoing at least, because it'd be out, it'd be open, and then you get it done with. You just say, put 'em up, and you get it solved. What benefit of kindness? If people were showered with kindness, they'd never evolve, would they? They'd never learn anything. They'd never learn the cruel traits of life, the nasty, evil traits of the pink ape. They'd never learn any of that if they're shrouded in fake kindness, because it's fake, people. It's oh so fake. And look, how many of you tell stories to me in the comments about your narcissistic mothers? Usually it's the mother that's the narcissist. Invariably it's not the male. Women far outweigh the male with propensity for narcissism. Because men can do things other ways, you know. They're stronger and they're more aggressive, and they can go about things the other way. But women, much more conniving and deceitful, and yeah, and you know, hell have no wrath like a woman scorned. That's not said about the male, is it? God didn't blame the acquisition of knowledge on a male, did he? He blamed it on a female. They're the root of all evil. Woman, the root of all evil. You know that, don't you? Look at my sister, for an instance. Evil through and through. Yes. So, we need evil, people. We need evil. The world couldn't exist without evil. And whenever we listen to anyone's silly idea of a utopianism, where everybody's kind and everyone's considerate and we're all living together, we're all working together, and all this, just ridiculous. It's nonsense. All we've got to do is just look at human psychology, and we'll look at children without having any nurturing, when they're pure nature. Well, they're evil motherfuckers, if they can get away with it. And the only reason they don't all turn into Jeffrey Dahmers or Ted Bundys is because they get programmed and hypnotised through their socialism, with all the social norms and everything, and they become terrified of being rejected by society, or being incarcerated by society, being the black sheep of society. Most people, they don't want to do that, being thrown out of the clan. And you know what, you know, lots of ancient tribes people have done when one of their members has perpetrated a unforgivable crime, then they would banish them from the society, and they just have to go out on their own in the fucking desert, in the forest, in the mountain, wherever it was. You go and do that and you've crossed social barriers, motherfucker. You know, whatever they are, in whatever circles. You know, people who they project a false kindness. How many people do? We've been so conditioned into doing it. It's heinous, it's hateful, it's despicable, it's vile, it's disgusting. Why? Because it's all fake. It's not the true nature of the human being. So when you look at someone and they just tell it the way it is, and then people go, oh, grumpy old fucker he is, or she's a cow, she is. She's just saying standing for no bullshit, and she sees through all your fucking shit. Oh, good morning. Oh, hello, Mr. Jones. Oh, it's a lovely day, and all that. But then, like, you know, one day you're stricken and you knock on a door, 2 o'clock in the morning. She'll come to the fucking door with a fucking face like thunder. That's even if you open the fucking door. And then you say, like, oh, fucking, you know, I need 100 quid, otherwise this gang's gonna fucking kill me, or whatever it is. I've only got the debit card, the machine isn't working. Oh, I'm sorry, I'd love to help you. Oh, goodness me. Oh. No, people, no. I've been around the world, I've seen it all. I've seen it all. Even your family members, even your best fucking friends, when you lend them something, you'll never get the fucker back. Lend them any money, give them any kind of gesture, you'll never see it again. And it's kind of like, oh my goodness. How many of us have just, you know, hit the end of the road with so-called friends for a whole multitude of reasons which just pertain to greed and arrogance and bitterness and jealousy and any number of shit. That's what the human being is. And so I don't pull no punches, people, and I'm never giving anybody the benefit of the doubt. With me, people have to earn respect. And when you've earned my respect, it's a very, very valuable respect, and you go a long way with it. And when somebody knows that you've got my respect, well, they'll fucking respect you because of that. And so that's how it's been all my life in all my circles. Being a real person. And nobody would ever say that I would tell them any untruths. They would never say that I'm going to candy coat any fucking thing. They'll always go and say, go and ask Aaron. He'll tell you how it is. Be careful. You might not want to hear. Make sure you want to hear the worst. Whatever you can imagine the worst. As long as you've got that under your belt, then you can go and ask Aaron. And he'll tell you how it is. you know, let's say like with therapy, giving therapy, somebody comes to see you and they say, oh, my life's fucked up. And then you start, well, what makes you think that? Well, I've got no friends, everybody hates me. Alright, why do you think that is then? Don't know. Really? Really? You got no idea? Things you do, things you say, how you act. Let's start when you were a child then. Come on, let's go right back. Start when you were a child. What's your earliest experiences? And you bring it up from there. And then, you know, could turn out that this guy's like Damien. Well, when I was 3 years old, I went into the kitchen and I got out this huge fucking carving knife. And it was 2:30 in the morning, and I crept into my mother's bedroom and I stood over her bed, and the moonlight was gleaming through the window and it was shining on this, you know, Jack Nicholson fucking, you know, all that sort of stuff. And you go, Did you say you didn't have any friends? Right. Okay. And then you'd have to go from there, wouldn't you? But, you know, why do people always want to be bestowed with kindness? Why do they expect everybody to be kind? What is this nonsense about kindness? In view of the fact that it's invariably fake. Because, like I say, you go beyond that and you'll find evil. You'll find evil. You know, I don't know, 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 that's going to do the right thing. Consecutively would do the right thing because they are sound, solid, honourable, decent people. You know, far and few between. And lots of you tell stories about how you grew up in horrendous households. Well, I grew up in, you know, a very volatile household in one respect. But very beneficial and enlightening in another, and so it put me in good stead for the world that I was going into. None of our family were under any fucking delusion about everyone's kind out there. That wasn't never going to be something we fucking packed in our little knapsack as we fucking walked off over the horizon into the sun. No. We knew what the world was about when we fucking left high school. No bones about that. You know, my videos, I purposely am abrasive. Purposely abrasive. Because if you can be purposefully abrasive and people tolerate that, then in my estimation, you, the viewer, you're going to be much more real. People that come onto the channel, oh, he says he's spiritual, he says he's wrote a book about being closer to God. Well, he doesn't sound spiritual to me, he sounds like a meanie, and I'm not subscribing from him. And you know, on most of my videos, there's some thumbs down. You don't know how many these days because you don't see those numbers. But I get to see the percentage. And if it's 100% likes, then you see 100. But then if there's any thumbs down, then you get to see 98, 97, 92 maybe. But usually it's up there like the 98, 97. So it's only 1 or 2. And I'm like, well, look, you people, what are you expecting? You know, do you want the world to be candy fucking coated? You're on the wrong channel. What the fuck do you watch my videos for? Why would anybody watch my videos? You know, once they've seen one, then they're getting the idea. But if they're watching consecutive videos, and then why would anybody go, me, offending me? And it's like, well, if you're so offended, why don't you fuck off? You know, that's what twists my melon. You know, but then I say, well, it's because they're under my hypnosis. These fucking idiots that, well, you're offending me and you're not kind and what the fuck, why you been watching my videos for the past 5 fucking years then, cunt? Even fucking 6 months, what's wrong with you? You fucking retards, aren't you? Why you just fuck off? Good God. You know, when I say things that rub you up the wrong way, and before you go, just ask yourself, oh, I'm triggered. I'm triggered. Why am I triggered? Oh, goodness me, because I'm weak. I'm weak and I don't know myself. That's why I'm triggered. I'm very ill-informed and very unintelligent, obviously, because if I'm triggered as being an adult, I don't know who the fuck I am by the time I'm an adult. Jeepers, creepers, what the fuck's wrong with you? You should know who you are by the time you're 15 years old. Know who you are now the fucking world is, unless you've been brought up in cotton fucking wool by some fucking evil fucking parents that didn't give you the appropriate tools to deal with life because they're too weak and cowardice themselves. So when anybody gets triggered by my videos or think, I don't agree with that, well, that's an opportunity for you to sit down and fucking pull your neck in and deflate your chest and ask yourself, well, what the fuck do you agree with? And why? And follow a lineage of why you agree that. And you might just find, well, that's because what CNN told me or BBC told me. And then you go, oh, I'm a fucking idiot, I'm a muppet. I just listen to propaganda and then anything outside the propaganda. Oh, goodness me. Look, people, any of you people that have got a problem with any of my videos, well, you have a problem inside. It's not me. I don't have a problem. I'm the cosmos. I'm fucking the best thing since sliced bread as far as I'm concerned. Living the life of fucking Riley. Had an incredible life all my life. Fuck me. Never wanted for anything. Had it all, people. Had it all. And so, but if you're still being conflicted, then you're on a journey of learning about yourself. So you should shut up and keep your fingers in your fucking pockets and just keep listening and listening and learning. Because on this channel, more than fucking 90% of the channels out there, you're going to learn something. And you'll learn quickly if you listen. And so that's how it is. Now, here's the thing. Ugly people, fat people, excessively skinny people, you know, goofy people, big-eared people, you know, big-nosed people, skinny-lipped people, all these things. I could go on and on and on and on and on. Suffice to say, anybody outside of the perfection of the human being, yeah. How's it been in your life? How have you felt? How have you felt in your life? Do you think you've got on very well? Or do you think that those things have always been an issue? When, you know, kids at school said, oh, her lips are so skinny and thin. They look so tight and mean. You know when people go, you little skinny lips, ooh, horrible. And then when they've got other things that's wrong with them, the kids are great, aren't they? Kids tell us everything. Everything we want to know. So what I'm saying is, people, by the time you're 15, if you don't know your fucking self, what have you been doing? You must have had cotton wool in your fucking ears all your life. Kids will tell you every fucking thing. You'll know everything about your body by the time you leave school when you're 15 years old, 16 years old, 17 years old. Unless you spend 90% of the time in a safe room. But in my age, there was no safe rooms. We dealt with it. We fucking dealt with it. And when any of us had any problem with anybody, then it'd be like, well, fuck yeah, I'll see you out on the fucking playing field, mate, at break. And that's it. And poof, 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 poof. That sorted that one out. All right then. We can get back to our ABCs now. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Grrr. Yes, people. That's how it was. Why isn't it like that these days? Too many fucking safe rooms and all that silly nonsense going on that we're all equal and we're all so precious. And if anybody tells us that we're not precious... God, what the fucking world coming to? Trump's going to turn America around anyway. He's going to be killing people by the fucking thousand. Any druggies or gang leaders, mafia, they're all going under the fucking guillotine. They are. And all the immigrants, they're all getting sent back. And there's a lot of stuff coming down. Yes. Oh, don't you think that's better than the other way around? Oh, let 12-year-olds cut their cocks off and have a fanny implant, and let's build these safe rooms everywhere, and nobody's black and nobody's white and nobody's yellow and nobody's masculine, nobody's feminine, nobody's nothing in actual fact except perfect. Everyone's perfect. Oh, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake. Thank fuck at least Trump addressed that and sent out a signal to the world. So anyway, look, let me show you something, people. This is when I was an astronaut. When I went to Mars. You see, Musk think he's being innovative. Oh, I can send a rocket to Mars. It's already fucking been done. It's already been done, mate. The first man on Mars. There you go. But look at that, you see. That's fucking Top Gun stuff, that is. Brad Pitt and fucking Top Gun. Eat your fucking hearts out. Now, why I'm saying this, people, is because, and it's like, it's not being boastful. It's not being facetious and, you know, stuff like that. It's just being factual, just telling it the way it is. I don't look like that now, but when I was like that, the world was my oyster. Why? Because everybody loves good-looking people. If you are tall and broad-shouldered and flat-stomached, you don't have to be that handsome, but as long as you've not got no overtly ugly shit going on, then you're going to get along. People are going to respect you. People are going to fear you. People are going to be in fucking awe of you. Whereas, you know, if you've got like a 3'4" fucking Timmy who looks like a fucking barrel, well, he ain't going nowhere, is he? He ain't going nowhere. You're never going to get offered anything. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And so, you know, the question is, you know, look, if you'd been to proper school, you would have resolved all these things, because kids are like, big nose, big ears, ginger bollocks, fucking teeny weeny willy, and all these fucking things. We know what we are by the time we've come out of fucking school, you know? That's why it's called a school. Forget all this fucking shit that you're being programmed with. No, you learn about what you are. And you learn about what you can do, and you learn about how attractive you are, you know, to the opposite sex. And then you carry that with you. You have a confidence or not. And so, if people, you know, were ginger, with goofy teeth, and big ears, and a flat chest, and little weedy arms, and all that sort of stuff, well, what a curse, what a curse. You know, but if you did have things like that, then how's it been in your life? I'm really interested. I really want to know. Tell me. Tell me when you was at school, how people used to call you Dumbo, because you had big ears. Here comes Dumbo. Or Pinocchio, because you had a big nose, or things like that. Here comes the flubber monster. Come on, you can tell me. How did it affect you? How did you get along in life? Because we all know that good-looking people get on better. Because everybody likes good-looking people. Ugly people, short, fat, excessively tall, people don't like them. They just don't like them. Even if they want to be kind and don't want to notice, really, they notice. And deep in your heart and in your unconscious, you don't like them. Because they hurt your eyes when you look at them. And you think, what sort of fucking freak show is that? Fuck's sake, where's Brad Pitt? Where's Angelina Jolie? They're soothing to my eyes. Yeah. You see, if you were good looking, you would know that everywhere you went, the opposite sex just flocked around you. Every time you went for a job, chances are you're going to get it. You didn't even need no qualifications. You walked in the room, people were, what the fuck? Look at that fucking cool dude, the fucking cool ass motherfucker. Give him the job, yeah, want to be around him. And all these sort of things. It's just that's how it works, isn't it? But, you know, from a perspective of once looking like that, I'm like, who the fuck was that? Wow. He must have been a movie star. He must have been a movie star. In actual fact, when I was in Africa and I got shot, and I bought pump action shotgun, gonna have a showdown with any fucker that cared, to, you know, try and do that shit again. You're fucking with the wrong dude, man. Ghetto boy, you're fucking for the wrong dude. You see, the dude that came and shot me had a handmade ghetto shotgun pistol. They make, you know, these guns in the ghetto in Africa. But then I went and bought a 13-shot Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator pump action motherfucker and 100 rounds from the police. I fucking went and bought it over the counter at the police, and I fucking loaded it all up and I went, you come round my house for that little fucking pea shooter. One shot of this will spread you within a million fucking parts. Nobody will be able to ever fucking find you again. If I fucking unload one of these shells on you, motherfucker, oh my goodness. Unfortunately, nobody ever came round. They heard about it. They all got to hear about it. You know, the white man's got a 13-shot Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator pump action motherfucker. Now you know. You know. Yeah, so you don't be going round there with your fucking pea shooters. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, talking about a few things here and there, people, but, you know, there's a bit of interesting stuff here, there's a bit of interesting stuff there, a bit of weird and perspective coming here, there and everywhere that's going to be triggering people, and now you're going to be rushing over to the mirror and you can go... And you'll be looking at your arms, and you're fucking looking at your wiener, and you're going to be... When you're fucking 52 years old. You should have known it already. Tell me. Did you know it? When was the first time you knew about it? You know, when those kids in the classroom started telling you. All that sort of stuff. How did it affect you? Did it make you go in? Did it make you feel insecure? Did it make you into a shrinking violet? Did it ruin your fucking life? Have you never done anything as a consequence to that? I can well imagine that, you know, it's like the best good-looking girls in the school. Everybody fucking loves them. And all the other girls, which are reasonably good-looking, flock around them, don't they? Ugly girls, they ain't gonna get in that gang. They just ain't getting in that fucking gang. They ain't even coming close. The ugly girls, nobody's even noticed whether they had a gang. They just didn't fucking notice them. What fucking short, fatty and spotty, or who? Yeah, she married this fucking, oh, what? Don't remember her. Of course you wouldn't. You don't remember these people. But you remember, you know, all the strapping blokes and, you know, all that rest of it. And then you go, well, what did they do? Oh, they went on to do this, they went on to do that, and then own their own businesses and, you know, became famous, this, that and the other. What did Spotty Zitty Skinny Neck do? No, I think he was run over by a bus or something when he was fucking 20 years old. Yeah, nobody ever heard from him again. Yeah. So, you know, look. It isn't always great, the things I speak about, but it's real, isn't it? And what's the benefit of talking like this? It's not like I once say, look how good looking I was and how ugly you were. I'm just saying, just things, that's how it was. Maybe in another life I was ugly as a mule. Maybe in the next life I will be. And then someone would go, ha ha ha, so you're right then now. You've got all this, like, you know, these potato men. This potato men toy that we used to have when we were kids. A box of fucking little plastic things, big ears, small ears, long nose, this and the other. And you'd stick them in potatoes, right? Well, they'd probably fucking give me that shit. They give me all different sorts of fucked up shit. I'm like, like Quasimodo. Even Quasimodo had a job, didn't he? He had a fucking job. So, yeah, I mean, did you resent it? Did you fight against it? Did you accept it? When you walked into a disco, how did you feel? Were you like, fucking hell, suppose I'm going to be fucking hanging around right to the end again so I can grab a 10 to 2-er? In England in the old days, don't know how it is now. Nightclubs used to close at 2 o'clock. And so we'd call it grabbing a 10 to 2-er. If you couldn't pull anything, you know, from half 11 up to like 2, then you'd grab a 10 to 2-er. And it's, you know, one of them girls. Were you one of those girls? Really? Aww. You know those girls that blokes just wanted to fucking shag and never fucking see you again or call you again or wouldn't admit it to the mates? Were you those sort of girls? What did you do? Who did you marry? Did you marry some fucking nerd that nobody ever heard about? You know, all that sort of stuff. How did it go on? Or did you get lucky? You know, were you a 10 to 2-er and then you found fucking Prince Charming and it's like, fucking hell, how's that for fucking luck? Yeah, it happens. It happens. So, yeah, just opening up a discourse about things like that, people. Because it's life, isn't it? Why doesn't anyone talk about it? Nobody talks about it. You know, nobody talks about, oh, I was a 10 to 2, I was in the 80s. And I got shagged by all these fucking drunk blokes that even fucking know the word, didn't even know the names. And then you could be one of these blokes, oh, I shagged loads of fucking 10 to 2s, I did. Fucking hell, they were the fucking days. I met my fucking missus when I was 21 and fucking had 4 kids and that's it now. Work packing chickens. Yeah. How many of you are like that? How many of you shagged a few 10 to 2s and then you ended up marrying one? It's kind of like you were looking around for something a bit better, you could never get it, it's kind of like, oh, fucking hell. Hello, what's your name? Sorry, 10 to 2. I mean, Sue? Yeah. You heard 10 to 2, but she said Sue. And it's kind of like, whatever. And, you know, a hole's a goal, isn't it? Goal's a hole. You know, what are you going to do? So, yeah, you know, I spoke with a few ugly people on the channel. I know there's a few ugly people out there. I can imagine what the wives are like. I spoke to a few ugly women. I can imagine what their old mans are like. Not many good looking, to be fair. Not many good looking. We're quite rare, really. We're quite rare. Yeah. But you see, when we are what we are, then we live a certain life and the world gives us a certain something. And I've never really reflected, whenever I went into a bar, that I could never get any of the girls. That never entered my mind. Never entered my mind. The only times I didn't get the girls, it's kind of like they'd say to me, where's your wedding ring? Because I was too good to be true. It's kind of like, you're married, you're obviously married, you've got a girlfriend, you know, and all this sort of stuff. Because otherwise it's kind of like, how come a guy with a great body and so handsome and rich and drives a big posh car out there, how come he's then got a girlfriend? You know, so they don't believe it. But there's someone for everyone, and that's the thing. There's someone for everyone. There's a little fat thing. There's 2 women, right? mother and daughter, and they go everywhere together, and they're like a pair of fucking budgies, and the mother pushes the fucking invalid fucking trolley on wheels in front of her, and the daughter fucking wobbles. She's like a football, like a fucking weeble, and they're everywhere together, and all that, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, and everything's oh yeah, oh, and the fucking hell, it's kind of like, wow, you can make a fucking movie about those motherfuckers. But then all of a sudden I started to see another little fat fucking round thing in the bunch, and it was a male this time, and he was exactly fat and fucking round and short, just like her. Someone for everyone, people. And then all together like that, oh yeah. It's kind of like, wow, planet Earth is fucking mental. But was Shorty and Fatty, were they, you know, when they went to the parties or the discotheques, were they always like, you know, looking under the fringe, you know, like that, you know, peeping through the hair like that, you know, the nice guys and the nice girls, and trying to see what they're doing, and then, you know, someone would tap them on the shoulder, and they'd turn round, it'd be a little short, fatty, spotty one, and it's kind of like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Fucking looking at Jane fucking Dean, what the fuck? Oh, alright then, come back at 10 to 2. Yeah, that's how it was. Don't you think so? Yeah. Wow, those are the days. But reflecting now, imagining being weak and being feeble, looking around at all the other blokes, everyone else would appear to be big and muscular and confident and hard. And how would that feel? I don't know how that would feel. Maybe in another life. But if you know how that feels, I'd be dying to hear about it. You could say, yeah, well, I had this little fucking Adam's apple skinny fucking neck and weedy shoulders, and I used to go out into the fucking pubs with my mates, and they all had big muscles like that and square jaws, and I was just a little frail weedy man, but I used to fucking hang on to their shirt tails and grovel around them so they'd like me and they wouldn't beat me up, but I was always afraid. I was always afraid. And then I met Lucy. Yes, the Lucy, the love of my life. How many girlfriends did you have? Only one, you Lucy. I didn't need any more. You didn't need any more. Or you couldn't get any more. I love Lucy. Oh, really? Do you? Oh, I wonder if you do. Hey, do you love your partner? Or is it just a shag? Is it just like brings home the wages? Fucking washes the car, or fucking digs the garden once a year. Oh, she fucking bakes a mean omelette, or fucking whatever. Is that why? I think it is, isn't it? I know some of you shacked up with him or her. You'd look at her and you'd go, you look at him and you go, what the fuck went wrong with my life? Why me? Fucking got to happen to somebody, innit? You know? Maybe when you was in the line for good looks, God misheard and thought you said good books, and he fucking gave you a Mills and Boon instead of fucking, you know, all the rest of the business. Oh, you want some good books? I've got some fucking Mills and Boon. I've got some fucking old romance stuff, you know, fucking whatever, Rousseau. I've got some Rousseau. There you go. So then you became a bookworm. A bookworm! And then a nerdy bookworm. And then, you know, you just attracted another bookworm nerd. And that's how you live your life. Gunsmith all out there. I should get out more, really. I should start looking at these people. I don't look at them anymore, people. I've looked at them all my life. When you're sitting on a train, that's the time, innit? When you sit on a train and everybody else is terrified to get eye contact or conversation, and so they've all got the headset in like that, and they're all looking into the phone. And you just look around and you go, fucking hell, what a fucking sense. Ooh, that was alright. Yeah, that was alright. Oh, fucking hell, what a fucking bunch of misfits. One in the fucking hundreds, alright. what a curse this fucking human being is. Oh my goodness. But like, she knows she's alright as well, because you see, like, when you're looking at her, you know, she's sitting with her back straight, enhancing her breasts, and, you know, she's pouting her lips, and she knows she's being looked at by someone somewhere. Yes. So she's acting all the time. She lives under this pretense that there's always someone looking at her. So she feels conscious all the time. She can't just relax. She can't just be her, whoever her is. Always got to put on a show. Anyway, people, this is long enough, right? Yeah. So, plenty of things to think about. Which one are you?